Well, hello folks, I am back. Has anything been wrong? No, I've just had a week off, because doing the videos take a bit of doing. So I've had a week off, but I'm now back. And what are we back doing? Well, I think we're going to tackle the water pump on the Allis B, because she is dripping like a broken washing machine. I was going to come out with an Essex Girl joke, but I'd better not. Right, let's get on. So guys, I have put the appropriate size sockets on here. Cool. I think the first thing we've got to do is get the bonnet off. We'll go through the whole thing. We will. I have also invested, rightly or wrongly, in a rechargeable 3/8" ratchet. Cheap as chips. It was brand new in the box and I got it for 20 quid and I thought, you know, we'll try it. I say it came with 2 batteries, charger and bits. I have no idea if this is going to work. That's doing up. So I'll crack them by hand. Whoa, look at that. That takes, will it do it without cracking them? It will. It'll undo the bonnet bolts without cracking them, look. So I'm quite impressed. Oh, I have a nut on the back of this. Yep, I think there's that. There we go. I got it. Oh, here we go. All right, that don't, yeah, that only got to be slack on that one, innit? I remember. Well, I'm quite impressed with the cheap as chips ratchet. This one do have to come all the way out. Right. Are you impressed how I've got a cage to put everything in? There we go. That's the exhaust off. We need our mushroom off. And I think that bonnet will slide forward out of the bracket. Oops, fuel tank. Right, I need to just undo the little fuel banjo. Because I have been told by good authority, do not try and undo the tank bolts. You're better off disconnecting the fuel line with a bigger spanner than that. You're better off disconnecting the fuel line and taking the whole tank off with the bonnet. So that's what we're going to do. Ah, yes. Luckily this is all finger tight, so there you go. That fuel line is off. Our bonnet is disconnected now, hopefully. She's out and she's off. Let's put her over there somewhere, look. There we go. Right, we are now in to the nub of what we're doing, which is we need to change this water pump. Now I think, of course, she is still dripping, and I actually took this out on the road the other day and she heated up on me. And when I got back, the water level was probably down to there. It took about 4 pints of water, so she did get hot. I'm looking and I cannot see a way of tensioning these fan belts. If any of you guys can see a way, let me show you in there. If any of you guys can see how them fan belts tension, because if you look at a straight belt up that side, and I was like, right, there'll be some sort of adjustment idle the other side. There isn't, look. It's a straight belt. up there as well. So how the hell has someone got that much tension on that belt? Surely you don't have to take your radiator off, put it on the bottom pulley over your fan, then bolt your fan on. Or is it something to do with these slotted bolts here, look? I wouldn't have a clue. I'm sure we'll work it out. Anyhow, I am not going to attempt to do this water pump with this radiator in situ. I'm really not going to bother attempting that. Simply because I do not want to slip. I don't want anything to come off and damage the rad. So I'm going to hopefully take all this casing off and then take the radiator out. It'll give us a good chance actually to check someone else's work, because they have put all the hoses on. We can make sure everything is, well, as it should be. And, well, yeah, we can do that. Anyhow, how this cover comes off, I'm assuming that's only held on with these two. Is there? Yep, there are nuts in the back there. Let's get our ratchet. Wrong size socket. That'll be this one. Let's get our ratchet and I am mightily impressed with that. That has saved so much work. Hello. That's the neighbour gone past. I am really impressed with this, guys. I really am. Don't ask me what make it is. It's just a cheapie. It's sort of unbranded, I think, so that's probably some Chinese thing, but it has soon buzzed all these off. There you go. Whoops. Or did I bang the microphone then? As you can see, there's been a bit of water leaking in there. You can see it running down. But there you go. That's our nose cone off. Put he up there. Now we've got to suss out, it's dead wasp in there, suss out how to get this radiator off. I think we've got to start by, obviously, the hoses. Let's pull a hose out. There we go. Now for you Allis fanatics, these radiator clips I've got on here, these like wire type, is this what they should have, or should they have traditional Jubilee? Because I have got loads of Jubilee clips, so I'd quite like to put this back together with whatever clips it would have basically originally had. So would it have had these wire type clips or a conventional Jubilee clip? Let me know, guys. Right, that is definitely. Right, I think there's bolts on the bottom. There is some big nuts on the bottom. If that ratchet can crack these big ones off, I'll be mightily impressed. I can't see that this is going to have the torque to get them undone. But we'll give it a go. Cool. Alright, I think, oh, I haven't charged the batteries on this, and our battery is nearly flat, I believe. I'm not going to blame the ratchet, because I should have really charged the whole thing up. Let me get another battery, guys. That battery needs charging, clearly. Can you still hear me while I'm in the workshop? There we go. Let's get battery number 2. Let's get battery number 2 and bang on. Oh, crikey, yeah, we're away now. We was using a half flat battery, guys. Oh yeah. Did you hear the difference there? We were using a battery that was discharged. Now, is this radiator held on by anything else? Away there. No, they're just little screws there. So I don't think... No, our radiator is loose. Let me try. Let me move you guys. We're going to try and get off this. Right. I should have thought of that, shouldn't I? Did it get my foot? Nope. There we go. That's one off. And I don't think there's any more apart from this one. So I've got to come round the front, treading all that water. There you go. There we go. Our radiator. Oh my word. We need to flush this radiator, guys. There was mud just come out of the bottom of that. Right, well, at least now we can see exactly how our water pump is. That's still not explaining to me how you tension that bloody fan belt. Someone's going to tell me exactly how you tension these fan belts. So Dave, Mark, whoever, how do you put tension on these fan belts? Or is it something to do with these sliders in here? I do not know. I think I'm going to try and get the fan off. Because I think getting the fan off is going to make... Oh, I don't know. Yes. But what are these adjustments? Surely they aren't going to be to tension your fan belt. Surely that's going to be moving the fan in or out. So that's going to be like setting the space between the fan and the radiator. I really couldn't tell you if I'm honest. Right, let's see if we've got a socket what'll go on them. Ain't big enough. Yep, there's a lot of paint on them, but I think they're the ones. Oh, this little ratchet is the nuts. I must admit it is. Look at that, I don't even have to break it off manually. Look at that. Why didn't I get one of these ages ago? This is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. For a Chinese, unbranded, for a Chinese unbranded ratchet, I'm very impressed. So what have you guys been up to? I was at a little Ellingham rally last week. A few people come to see me. Thank you very much. It's now about, what is it, 6:30 Monday, 6:10 Monday night. Right, one thing I meant to say, you know I haven't turned this engine over by the fan or anything, because, guys, you have no kill switch on these unless you fitted one. There's no battery to disconnect. These have got a bag on them. So if you start turning this engine over on the fan, she could easily fire up. So to save that, in case I do have to turn the engine over, I'm disconnecting the plug leads. There we go. So if we do turn her over, there's no risk that she's gonna, there's no risk that she's gonna fire up on us. Because the last thing you want is to turn that fan by hand, she fire up and you aren't prepared for it. Could be messy. How is this fan adjusted? How do you adjust the tension? Right, this is just a single nut. And I don't know what that nut does. Surely this tractor don't undo. Surely everything's not just on one nut. Oh, that's coming. Okay. Right, what is going on here, guys? What is this all for? Someone's painted it and everything is like stuck. We have like a attachment on here, a bit like a tab. What is this tab? I can't see how that could possibly adjust tension. I really don't know, because I don't know how you get this fan belt off. Surely you don't just put it on the bottom and turn the engine till that twist over that pulley. Surely not. There's got to be a way. There has got to be a way for that to do that. And if there is, I can't work out what that way is. So somebody tell me how you adjust them fan belts. You can't move your crank up and down, obviously. There's no adjustment on your water pump, and you wouldn't have to slacken a water pump to adjust a fan belt, surely. Yeah. I'm thinking, do this pulley now tap off this water pump? Let's have a look at the new water pump and we can see what we're up against. Right, guys, here's our new water pump. Is this water pump the same? Oh, no, don't. It's got to be. Why have I got this here and nothing on there? Maybe this is a later water pump. And that's like, is there a blank for that? I believe there could be a blank for that in the box. Let me have a look. Right, I've just dug through the box. There's a gasket and a plug. And I think that plug must go in there because we don't need it. So, yeah, that's clearly just a revision, I assume. This plate on the back stays on the pump with them two screws. I assume we don't interfere with that. Really not sure. We got to work out now. I am going to take these out because I think we need to get a hammer and tap all this pulley arrangement off that pump. So let me get a small knockometer. We'll give that a go. So guys, I have a knockometer here. Let's ask it nicely. Nicely is all what's needed. What is this nut in there? This is just awkward. I am missing something here, guys. I really must be missing something on how you get them belts off. I thought that was just going to come over the water pump. That ain't. This belt certainly alright, that's nearly there. This belt certainly needs to come. Cool. Right, this was much harder work than it needed to be. I'm sure as hell you don't have to fanny around. This, right, I think this pulley splits. But how do you hold it together? Because I didn't know if this pulley splits. So you put your belt on, then push that back on. But then how are you going to get that nut back in there, that bolt? Do you get what I mean? I think this whole pulley So there's a seam there. I think this front of this pulley comes off, and then you place your belt in, put the pulley back on. But I can't see how you can do that, because you can't take that bolt out. Because once it's out, you're not going to get it back in underneath that. I think I need to work and have a go at trying to split this pulley either way. Alright, that's going to be for another day. We need to get off this water pump. So let's continue. I'm going to take off the clips, the hose clips, and then hopefully there you go, these water pump bolts are going to come undone and not ring off on us. Luckily that bolt's going in, so let's hope. Right, I'm going to crack these off manually. I'm not going to attempt them with my air ratchet. We'll just take them off manually, and hopefully I'll be able to gauge and feel how they're doing. And I'm only going to use a 3/8 ratchet. I like to feel. Oh, ow, oh, ow, oh, oh, that one's come. I think, guys, I think we might be on a winner. Come on, girl. Oh, they're not ringing off. I was worried these were going to ring. Come on. Oops. Ooh, that bottom one. It's not going to ring off, but that bottom one is certainly not as loose as the others. I need an extension, guys. Yeah, this bottom one's certainly not as loose as the others. I'm going to tighten him back up a bit. Oh no, that's going to come. Yeah, that's coming. Yeah, that's coming. We're there. We can use our new toy. Look at that. I'm impressed. And do you know, this is one of the best things I've bought. Look at that. I am impressed. Right. Let's ask nicely again, because I think we're all ready. She's off, guys, and yes, that plate stays on there. Am I going to throw this water pump? No. Tell you for why, because my other Allis, the rough one, she needs a water pump also. And I've seen on YouTube people rebuilding these pumps by dismantling them, and you can get a bush to go in them. That certainly might be a viable idea. Let's push this belt down so I ain't in my way. There we go. Right, I need to clean up all this, and while I'm at it, oh, excuse me, guys. While I'm at it, I'm going to pop this off and see if there's a thermostat in there, because I do not know if there's a thermostat in there or not. Ooh, that is tight. Because she overheated on me, like I said, just the other day. And I'm wondering why she overheated. Oh, no, I don't like the feel of that. No, that's starting to... Right. Do I interfere with that? Or do I leave it well alone? What sort of job is it to get it off if it overheats again? Right, I do not know. That's definitely dry under here, so I think the leak was definitely our water pump. Right, let me get a scraper and get this lot cleaned up. And there you go. Right, I have got a scraper. Is there a gasket on there? I think there is. There's water coming out of that stud. I assume that just goes through into the water jacket. Right. I don't know whether there's a gasket on there, guys. Let me just get a wheel and a drill. Oh yeah, there is a gasket on there. That could take a little bit of shinnying off. We'll be back in a minute. Right guys, we have cleaned up our gasket. That is well and truly clean. Now what I might do is see if I can get that block drain undone. Is there any benefit to that? Yeah, it will drain the water a little. Try and get some of this dust and crap what's in here. Because if we start to have overheating issues, oh, that block drain comes undone by hand, look. There you go, she's out. Right, I can still see water in here, and it's very slow draining out of the block, but the water I can see coming out of the block is clean. Let's have a look. So I've took the drain out, which is, there we go, that is rather slow. Of course there's still water in there, look, unless that's just a little. Now I think that is quite deep. Can we get a wire and stick up there? And will that assist with the draining? Let's get a bit of wire. Alright, I've got a piece of, as luck would have, an orange wire. Can't see anything. No, it looks pretty clean coming out there, guys. There's no dirty, cruddy water coming out. Dunno. I was wondering if this coolant system was a little bit sludged. But I don't know. See, we've got some corrosion on the top of that. On the top of that nipple. There really is. Right, that's the hose that go to the radiator. This one don't go to the radiator, it goes on the other side, bottom of the engine. But I was thinking I'll tip some water down here. You didn't see a thing I was doing there, did you? I've just put this pipe on. I was going to tip a bit of water down there and see if it comes out anywhere. Right, I have got a milk bottle full of water. We're just going to lash it in the top and hopefully, there we go, hopefully we'll get some water coming out here, coming out of, well, other places. Right. Yeah, it's starting to come out, guys. It's not flowing as quickly as I'd like. I'm wondering if we've got a stuck thermostat in there. Because she did overheat last time I had her out. But I don't like the idea of these bolts coming undone. Ideally what I'd do is take the thermostat right out the thing and leave it out. I just don't know if I dare chance undoing them. because I get a sneaky feeling they're not going to come, and I do not want to snap them off in the head. Dilemmas, guys. What do we do here? Or do we put her back together with the new water pump and hopefully she don't overheat? Right, I don't know. Well, I think we're going to have to just put it together with the new water pump and see. Right, I'm going to leave that for a few minutes to drain off. I'd have thought I'd get more out of that drain tap, but I really can't get much flow out of this drain tap. I mean, we're going in that far, so we're going right round that bend. Yeah, we're going round that bend. Not so far in we're gone, so I think we're gone right into the cylinder. So is that much lower than what the water is? Not really, so there's probably not a lot of pressure. Let me put that back in so I don't get conflummoxed. And wonder where that's gone. There's a hole in that, so you only got to slacken it for the water to come out. I'm going to let that drain a bit, guys. Have a clean up and try and get this pulley apart. Because I think that is something to do with how you get your fan belt on. Let me try and work something out. Right, guys, I have heated this pulley in the shed. You can still see it smoking. I have heated that with an inch of its life, got all that manky, all that horrible paint off. You can still see the old girl smoking. And that definitely looks like there's some form of split and a square hole in here. Oh God, I don't want to touch it because that is hot. See, there's a square hole in there, and there's definitely some way this splits. Is that anything to do with getting your fan belt on and off? If so, how do you hold that back on? Or is there meant to be a captive nut in there on the back? Is there meant to be a captive nut in there, what you draw a bolt in, and someone had just crewed at that coach bolt? I don't know. I think we're going to have to just put the pulley over and put it on how it was. But that won't be in this video. What we're going to do in this video is, now the water's drained and everything's nice and dry, our mating surface is clean, and here's our nice new water pump, which goes on there like so. I think we'll get our gasket stuck on there and we'll get this water pump back on. So what did I do with that gasket? Here it is. There we go. There we go. There's our gasket. There's our little bung. I think we can put the little bung in afterwards, because I'm sure that'll hold in with some PTFE. Saying that, we might as well put it in there now while it's off. Let me put this bung in with a bit of PTFT so she don't leak. It's going in cross-threaded, the stupid thing. Isn't it? You can't see that, can you? I say, you can't see what I'm doing here. I need to get this bung back in here. Come on, go in there. It's going in there, trying to go in there. Crossed. There you go. Right, let me get this bung in with some PTFE and we'll be back. So guys, we have some instant gasket, our new gasket, and we've cleaned all the bolts up. There we are. I believe this is the bolt that came out of the bottom, but I will check that threads are all the same. They are, but this is the one that came out of the bottom. Anyhow, let's get some gasket sealer, because our gasket, you have to put the writing to the back. It goes like so. Not too keen that the gasket don't quite line up with the metalwork. My OCD wouldn't like that. See that gap there? But it's letting everything through. Right, let's get a little bit on our gasket. There we go. You only want a little bead of this gasket sealer. You don't need an awful lot. Turn him up a bit. There we go. Right. We can get a finger now. Let's come round. There we are. There we go. Round that bolt. There we go, guys. There we are. Gasket sealer all round our gasket, and we can stick the gasket back on without getting threads in the holes. There we are. I think our gasket is lined up. Now we want a little bit more sealer around this side. You ought to see me pipe a cake. Yeah. There we go. And this is where our water pump goes. There we are. Try not to get it in the holes. So that's going to be hard. There you go, we're dragged it out. There we go, guys. And now we're ready to put our water pump on. There we are. Man, look at that. There we go. I do like to use gasket sealer, I must admit. Alright, there's nothing on this water pump. There is nothing on this water pump we have to reuse, is there? No. They're all pre-tightened. I think we're ready to get her on here, guys. What I'm just doing is, there you go, that bolt has started. I'm not pushing the water pump up against the sealer yet. I'm just getting the water pump started in the holes. There we go, that's 2 in. So that bottom one should just in theory go in. And it is. Right. I'm going to do these up by hand and then we'll get the torque arm on them. Yeah. No, I'm not using that power ratchet. Right, that one started to nip. That one started to nip. Right, that one, you've got to get a spanner on that now. Alright, that's starting to get a bit of squeeze. Oh no, we can get a socket on. There we are. I think our water pump is nearly on. Right, this can swiftly take us up to a sponsored video I need to do. V-Ball, look, they kindly sent me a couple of torque wrenches. They obviously like the torque arm. I have never used these, never even tried one, but I do like how we've got a 1/4 inch torque wrench. That to me is good, because sometimes them big 1/2 inch ones are just too much. So what we're going to do, we're going to use, if they've got a socket big enough, which I believe they have. Oh, look at that. We're actually going to torque these up. Why have they given me a 3/8? They've given me a 3/8 socket. Yeah, how bizarre. They've given me a 3/8 socket to go with a 1/4 drive ratchet. Is there not an adapter they have given me? Have they not given me an adapter? I would have thought there would have been a 1/4 to 3/8 adapter in there. Maybe there is, and I just can't see it. That is most bizarre. Ah, you idiot. Yeah, there is. There we go. There's the 1/4. There's our 3/8, look. No, that isn't. That isn't a 3/8. Right, V-Ball, I'm sure your product is brilliant, but why is there a 3/8 socket got snuck into a 1/4 drive set with no adapter to go up? That is most bizarre. No, there isn't. So we've got 1/4 drive up to 14mm, and then a 15 is 3/8, look. That is bizarre, isn't it? You know what that means? It means I'm going to have to get their other torque wrench out they sent, because they did send me a pair. So, as I have got to actually do a video on these, but I've been waiting for an opportunity to actually use them. And this actually could be my opportunity. Right, here we go with this V-Ball. This one's considerably bigger. They sent me these and said, could you test them? Very nice. Very nice. This is a nice 3/8. The quality feels good. I have had these out, and I like how to adjust them. They're locked. If you look. Oh, I bet you didn't think you were going to get a sponsored bit out of this, did you? But no, if you look, you have to move this collar. Oh, that's right. You pull the collar down to turn, and that locks. I like that. We have Newton meters and pound foot. How many pound foot is this? I don't know, but I'm going to go to about, yeah, let's go to, I don't know how tight these need to be, so I'm just going to lock that on 15 foot-pound, because I can't see you'd want to over tighten them. So I just got to find the correct 3/8 socket now. Oh, that's on the end of my thing. And we will go on our torque wrench and do about 15 foot-pound. There you go, there's 15 on that one. $15 on that one. That don't feel terrifically tight. that back one is a right pain in the bum to get a damned socket on, because that's really close to that water pump. Come on. There you go. There you go. So they're all done to 15 foot-pound, which feels, well, I think that's going to be absolutely perfect. So yes, Mr. Man Cave has actually talked something up. Right, this is as far as we are going to go with tonight's video. Simply because, and by the way, I am impressed with the Vevor torque wrench. I will do some separate videos on these because I need to, but yes, had a really nice feel, and I do like the locking mechanism where you can lock it exactly in every increment. Look, that is really good. Right, remember, relax your torque wrench, guys, when you leave it. Excellent. So guys, thank you very, very much for watching. Sorry it's been about 9 days since the last video. I needed a week off. I was busy. I was helping clear sheds, doing bits and pieces. Who's that going past the track? Have no clue. Anyhow, I was busy. We are back. Got the water pump finally done on the Allis. So next time we'll get this fan belt back on. But I want your guys' opinion as to how, oh, I can hold this now, it's cold, how this fan belt works with all this malarkey here. See that? It's like this sleeve comes off, this inner piece. It's like it comes off, and then you put your belt on, then slide it back on, but I can't work out how you'd hold it back on. I really can't. Somebody had just put a coach bolt through there, but you aren't going to get a coach bolt back in there when it's over this hub. Do you see what I mean? You can't get in the back there to get a bolt through, and you aren't going to get a bolt in first, or else that won't go over. And that don't look like there's any evidence of a captive nut being on the back there. I can't see where a captive nut has snapped off over the years. I don't know. And if not, we'll just have to do the old, yeah, well, if not, we'll just have to do the old lift him over and slide him on job. That could be a pain, but that might be what we have to do. There you go. We're going to leave this here right now. Thank you very much for watching. Please, please drop it in the comments how you do that damn thing. It looks like that's a split pulley. Don't look like it's ever going to split. I've heated it, had it in a vise. I've been tapping, put chisels down in there. The thing is, you can't give them too much stick because you'll just distort all these and they'll look terrible. So, there you go. Anyhow, the Allis experts will let me know what's going on. Thank you very much for watching. Mrs. Man Cave says hello. She does. She's actually had a good couple of weeks. Mrs. Man Cave's had a good couple of weeks. And she actually went to Little Ellenham Show all this week, all last weekend, Thursday through Sunday. So yes, she had nights in the camper, sleeping a bit still, but she had nights in the camper. She met some really lovely people that come round, well wishes. I had some lovely messages as well. Messages of, haven't heard, haven't seen a video yet, put a video out for a couple, for a few days. Are you all right? Yes, I'm fine. Thank you very much for asking. I do appreciate all your messages. I've just had a lot on, not sort of, not so much with hospital stuff, but there's been a lot going on, and to be honest with you, I needed a bit of a break from videoing. I did, because making 4 or 5 videos a week takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, and you have to have a fair amount of gumption to get round to actually doing them. This is really annoying me. I want to get them off. Anyhow, don't look at them. Don't look at them. They are going to ring off. They are going to ring off. And then I'll wish I'd never, ever touched them. Well, folks, no microphone. I've just took it off. I had a dizzy half hour in the shed with crazy neighbour John, and we worked this out. That pulley, I had to strip him right down, and there you go, look, he twists. So you'll put your belt on like so. Once it's on your water pump, that twists up and the belt rises up, giving you your tension. So if you're going to put it in the comments, like I said at the end, you needn't bother because I've worked it out. But I believe that's how it works. Aren't they clever buggers years ago, how they make that pulley open and close? There you go. Tension your belt. Right, that really is it. Bye-bye for now. Allis Chalmers B.